Captain Zexhai stared at the damaged escape pod floating in the dark space near the asteroid field. The metal was twisted and burned. Holes showed where weapons had hit it. Inside the clear window, a figure lay still. "Captain, we should leave it alone," said Crix, the ship's engineer. His 4 arms moved nervously over his control panel. "That's human writing on the side. Humans mean trouble." Zexhai moved closer to the window. The Vraxian captain had gray skin that could change colors with mood. Right now, it showed the deep blue of worry. "There's someone alive in there. I can see them breathing." "So what? It's not our problem," Vash said, from the weapons station. The young Vraxian had red markings on his face that meant he came from the warrior clan. "We're traders, not rescuers. Besides, whoever shot up that pod might come back." The escape pod spun slowly. Zexhai could see the person inside was a human female. She wore a blue uniform with patches on the arms. Blood covered one side of her face. Her eyes were closed. "Captain," Crix said again, "the hegemony controls this area. If they find out we helped a human, they'll come after us. You know what they do to people who get in their way." Zexhai knew. The hegemony was a group of pirate clans that ruled this part of space. They took what they wanted and killed anyone who stopped them. They had big ships and lots of weapons. Most traders paid them money to fly through their space safely. But looking at the unconscious human, Zexhai remembered something from long ago. When the captain was young, alien pirates had attacked the homeworld. A human merchant ship had fought them off. Even though the humans didn't have to help, many humans died saving Zexhai's people. "Bring her aboard," Zexhai said quietly. "Captain," both crew members said at once. "You heard me. Get the medical bay ready." Zexhai's skin turned the solid gray that meant the decision was final. Crix and Vash looked at each other. They had worked with Zexhai for 5 years. They knew that gray color meant no more talking. 20 minutes later, the human woman lay on the medical table. Her name tag said Dr. Sarah Chen, and showed she worked for Earth Research Division. She was about 30 years old with black hair and olive skin. A long cut ran across her forehead, and her right arm was broken. Zexhai used the medical scanner. 3 broken ribs, broken arm, mild brain injury from hitting something hard. "She'll live, if we treat her right." "What happened to her ship?" Vash asked. Zexhai checked the escape pod's computer. "Looks like raiders attacked her research ship 2 hours ago. The main ship was destroyed. She's the only one who got away." "Research ship," Crix said. "What was she studying out here?" The computer showed some data files. Dr. Chen had been studying strange crystals found in this asteroid field. The crystals could store huge amounts of energy and might make faster space travel possible. That kind of discovery was worth millions. "No wonder the hegemony attacked her," Vash said. "They probably wanted the research." Zexhai started treating the human's injuries. The medical machine worked on her broken arm, while the captain cleaned the head wound. They killed her whole crew for some rocks. "Captain," Crix said nervously, "our long-range scanner shows ships coming this way. 3 of them. Hegemony design." Zexhai looked at the scanner. The ships were still far away but getting closer. "How long?" "Maybe an hour." "Can we run?" "Not with her aboard," Crix said, pointing at Dr. Chen. "She needs medical care. Moving her now might kill her." Zexhai thought fast. They could hide in the asteroid field. But the hegemony ships had good scanners. They could dump the human and run. But that felt wrong. Or they could try to fight, but their trading ship only had basic weapons. Dr. Chen's eyes opened. She looked around the medical bay with confusion. "Where? What happened?" "You're safe," Zexhai said. "We found your escape pod. Your ship was destroyed." The human tried to sit up but winced from pain. "My team." "Are they?" "I'm sorry. You were the only survivor." Tears ran down Dr. Chen's face. She was quiet for a minute. Then she looked at Zexhai with sharp, intelligent eyes. "You're Vraxian. Why did you help me?" "Most species in this area avoid humans. They think we bring trouble." "Because it was right," Zexhai said simply. Dr. Chen stared at the captain. The research data. Did you see it? Yes. Crystals that store energy. Those crystals could change everything. Faster ships, better weapons, unlimited power. That's why the hegemony wanted them. Dr. Chen tried to sit up again. They can't have that technology. It's too dangerous. Captain, Vash called from the bridge. The ships are getting closer. And I'm picking up radio signals. They're looking for the human. Dr. Chen grabbed Zexhai's arm. You have to run. Leave me here. The hegemony will kill you. Just for helping me. No, Zexhai said. We don't leave people behind. You don't understand, Dr. Chen said. Humans remember who helps them. And we remember who hurts them. If something happens to you because of me, Earth will not forget. Zexhai didn't know what that meant, but the human's voice had a strange certainty to it. Like she knew something others didn't. Captain, Crick said on the radio, we need to decide now. Zexhai looked at Dr. Chen. The human was hurt and weak, but her eyes showed strength. She was someone who had spent her life learning and discovering new things. She didn't deserve to die because of greedy pirates. Cricks. Plot a course through the asteroid field. Use the rocks to hide our ship. Vash. Shut down everything except life support and engines. We're going quiet. That's risky, Captain. One wrong move and we hit a rock. Better than letting them catch us. Zexhai helped Dr. Chen lie down. Rest. We're going to get you somewhere safe. As their ship moved carefully between the floating rocks, Zexhai wondered if they were making a terrible mistake. The hegemony didn't forgive people who crossed them. By saving this one human, the captain might have doomed the whole crew. But looking at Dr. Chen's grateful face, Zexhai felt sure it was still the right choice. Some things mattered more than safety. Some choices defined who you really were. Behind them, the hegemony ships searched the asteroid field, looking for the human who had escaped their trap. 3 days passed as Zexhai's ship hid in the asteroid field. Dr. Chen was getting better. Her broken arm was healing, and the head injury no longer made her dizzy. She spent time helping Crix fix small problems around the ship and talking with the crew about her research. The crystals don't just store energy, she explained to Vash while they ate dinner. They can focus it, make it stronger. A ship with these crystals could travel between stars in days instead of months. That's amazing, Vash said. His red face markings had faded to pink, which meant he was curious instead of angry. No wonder everyone wants them. Flash. Everyone except the people who should have them. Doctor, Chen said sadly. My team spent 2 years studying these crystals. We wanted to share the knowledge with all peaceful species. But the hegemony just saw money and power. Zexhai checked the long-range scanner again. The hegemony ships had left, but that didn't mean they were safe. Dr. Chen, where can we take you? Do you have people nearby? The nearest Earth station is 6 days away, but that's too dangerous for you. The hegemony watches all the main space routes. They'll be looking for your ship now. She was right. By helping her, Zexhai had made enemies of the most powerful criminal group in this part of space. The captain's skin showed the dark blue of worry. I have an idea, Dr. Chen said. There's a small trading post called Haven Station. It's only 2 days from here. The owner is a friend of Earth. You could leave me there, and I could contact my people. Crix looked up from his engineering work. Haven Station? That's in neutral space. The hegemony doesn't usually go there. Usually, Vash said, but if they really want to find us, it's our best option, Zexhai decided. Better than flying around out here forever. 2 days later, they reached Haven Station. It was a small metal structure built inside a hollowed-out asteroid. Ships came and went, carrying goods between different worlds. The station's owner, a friendly alien called Jorik, welcomed them. Zexhai. Good to see you again, Jorik said. He was tall and thin, with purple skin and big eyes. What brings you here? Business, Zexhai said carefully. They couldn't tell everyone about Dr. Chen. Too many people at Haven Station sold information to whoever paid the most. Dr. Chen used a private communication room to contact Earth. While she was gone, Zex, Hai, Crix, and Vash waited in the station's small bar. Other traders sat at nearby tables, talking about ship routes and cargo prices. "You hear about the hegemony?" asked a female pilot with green scales. "They're really angry about something. Searching every ship in their territory." A fat alien with 6 arms laughed. "Probably lost some stolen goods. Or maybe someone fought back for once." "I heard it was about a human," said another trader. "They're offering a big reward for information about any ship that helped a human woman." Zexhai's skin went pale gray. Across the table, Crix and Vash looked nervous. 10,000 credits for information. The green pilot continued. 20,000 if you help them catch whoever's hiding her. The hegemony really wants this human. Dr. Chen came back an hour later. Her face showed excitement and worry mixed together. "I got through to Earth Command. They're sending ships to pick me up." "How many ships?" Zexhai asked. "They didn't say, but they want me to wait here until they arrive. And they want to talk to you too, Captain." "Me? Why?" "Because you saved my life. Earth doesn't forget that kind of kindness." That night, alarms started screaming throughout Haven Station. Red lights flashed, and Jorik's voice came over the speakers. "All ships prepare for inspection. Hegemony fleet approaching." Through the station's windows, Zexhai could see the dark shapes of warships. 6 large vessels surrounded the asteroid. Their weapons pointed at the station. "They found us," Vash said. Admiral Korath's face appeared on the station's main screen. He was a brutal-looking alien with scars covering his face and metal teeth. "Attention, Haven Station. We are looking for a human female, and the ship that rescued her. Anyone who helps us will be rewarded. Anyone who lies to us will be punished." Jorik tried to stay calm. "Admiral, Haven Station is neutral territory. We have an agreement." "Your agreement means nothing to me," Korath snarled. "Start sending over your ship records. Now." In their room, Dr. Chen grabbed her few belongings. "We have to run. If they catch you because of me." "Where can we go?" Zexhai asked. "They have 6 ships. We have 1 small trader. The Earth ships might already be close," Dr. Chen said. "If we can hide for a few hours." Explosions shook the station. Through the window, they saw hegemony soldiers breaking into the docking bays. They were checking every ship, scanning for humans. "This way," Jorik appeared in their doorway. "I know hidden passages through the station, but hurry." They ran through narrow tunnels that Jorik used for smuggling. Behind them, they could hear soldiers shouting and the sound of weapons firing. Anyone who tried to stop the search was being shot. "Your ship is in Docking Bay 7, Jorik said, as they reached a side entrance. "I'll try to delay them, but you only have minutes." Zexhai grabbed the station owner's hand. "Thank you. I won't forget this." "Just get her to safety," Jorik said, looking at Dr. Chen. "Earth has always been fair to small traders like me. The hegemony only takes and destroys." They reached their ship as hegemony soldiers entered the far end of the docking bay. Crix started the engines while Vash prepared the weapons. The ship lifted off just as the soldiers started shooting. "Where to, Captain?" Crix asked, as they flew away from the station. "Away from here, fast as we can." Behind them, Haven Station was burning. Korath had decided to make an example of anyone who might have helped the human. The peaceful trading post was being destroyed, and many innocent people were dying. Dr. Chen watched the destruction with tears in her eyes. "This is my fault. All those people." "No," Zexhai said firmly. "This is what the hegemony does. They destroy anything good in this galaxy." Suddenly, new ships appeared on the scanner. Lots of them. They came from the direction of Earth space, moving faster than any ships Zexhai had ever seen. "Captain," Vash said with excitement. "Those are human ships. Big ones." The lead ship was huge, bigger than anything the hegemony had. It sent a message. "This is Admiral Elena Vasquez of the Earth Defense Coalition. Dr. Chen, are you safe?" "Doctor," Chen smiled for the first time in days. "Admiral, this is Dr. Sarah Chen. I'm aboard a Vraxian trader ship. Captain Zexhai rescued me, and has been protecting me from the hegemony. Understood, Doctor. Captain HFY, please dock with our ship. We have medical facilities and safe quarters for all of you. As they flew toward the Earth fleet, HFY saw something that shocked them. The human ships weren't just warships. There were cargo vessels, construction ships, even civilian craft. All of them had weapons, and all of them looked ready for war. Dr. Chen, HFY said quietly, how many ships does Earth have? Dr. Chen looked at the scanner showing dozens of human vessels, with more arriving every few minutes. Her voice was very serious when she answered, Captain, you're about to learn something that most aliens don't know. Earth doesn't just have ships. Earth has been watching and waiting. And now, because of what they did to you and your crew, Earth is going to war. Admiral Elena Vasquez stood in the command center of the Earth ship Defiant. Around her, dozens of officers worked at their stations, coordinating the largest military operation Earth had launched in 50 years. The room buzzed with activity, but Elena's attention focused on the small screen showing Captain HFY's ship approaching their fleet. Admiral, we're receiving Dr. Chen's full report, said Commander Hayes, Elena's second-in-command. The hegemony didn't just attack her research ship. They killed her entire team and then hunted her down for sport. Elena's face darkened. And they attacked the aliens who helped her. Yes, ma'am. They destroyed Haven Station. Killed hundreds of innocent traitors just to send a message. Elena had been waiting for something like this for years. Earth's expansion into space had taught them a hard lesson. Kindness was often seen as weakness by predator species. The galaxy was full of bullies who took what they wanted and hurt anyone who tried to help their victims. But Earth remembered every act of kindness shown to their people. And they remembered every act of cruelty too. Status report on Operation Guardian Angel, Elena ordered. Phase 1 complete, Admiral. All sleeper ships have dropped their disguises. Phase 2 in progress. Combat fleets are arriving at rally points. Phase 3. Ready on your command. Elena smiled grimly. For 20 years, Earth had been sending merchant ships and research vessels throughout this part of space. What the other species didn't know was that half of these ships were actually warships in disguise. Earth had been watching, learning, and preparing. What's the fleet count now? Elena asked. 230 ships and growing. We have everything from heavy cruisers to cargo haulers retrofitted with weapons. Plus, our allies are starting to arrive. Allies? Yes, ma'am. Turns out, we're not the only ones who hate the hegemony. 12 different species have asked to join our operation. Apparently, the hegemony has been bullying this whole sector for years. On the main screen, Captain HFY's ship docked with the Defiant. Elena watched as the Vraxian captain and crew were escorted to the medical bay. Dr. Chen walked beside them, talking excitedly with her rescuers. Admiral, Dr. Chen said when she reached the command center. This is Captain HFY. They saved my life and risked everything to protect me. Elena looked at the gray-skinned alien, whose colors showed both nervousness and determination. Captain, Dr. Chen has told me what you did. Earth owes you a debt. HFY's skin shifted to confused purple. I don't understand. We saved one person. Why are you bringing so many ships? Because, Elena said, you didn't just save one person. You saved one of our people. And then you were attacked for showing basic decency. That's not acceptable. Dr. Chen stepped forward. Captain, let me explain something about Earth's history. 50 years ago, when we first went to space, we were like you. We helped people because it was right, and predators like the hegemony nearly destroyed us for it. Elena continued the story. We learned that in this galaxy, you have to be strong enough to protect kindness. Otherwise, evil wins. She activated a holographic display showing the entire sector. Red dots marked hegemony bases and fleets. Blue dots showed Earth forces moving into position. There were a lot more blue dots than red ones. This is the Chen Doctrine, Elena said, naming it after the rescued scientist. Any species or individual who helps Earth citizens gets our full protection. Any group that hurts them faces our full strength. HFY stared at the display. But the hegemony has thousands of ships. They control dozens of worlds. Had, Elena corrected. They had those things. As of today, that's changing. Commander Hayes approached with a data pad. Admiral, we've identified all hegemony bases and supply lines. Intelligence reports their main fleet is scattered across the sector. They're not expecting a coordinated attack. What about civilians? HFY asked. There are innocent people living on hegemony-controlled worlds. Elena's expression softened. Captain, that's why you're here. We need guides who know this area. People who can help us tell the difference between pirates and civilians. This isn't about revenge. It's about protection. Dr. Chen activated another display. We've been monitoring hegemony communications since I sent my distress signal. They're planning to attack 5 more trading stations to send a message about helping humans. We're going to stop them. HFY's skin went through several color changes as the captain processed this information. You want my help planning military operations? We want your help saving lives, Elena said. The hegemony thinks violence makes them strong. We're going to show them that protecting others is real strength. Over the next few hours, HFY worked with Earth strategists. The captain was amazed by how much humans knew about the local area. They had detailed maps of every space route, complete files on hegemony leaders, and knew exactly which worlds were controlled by fear versus loyalty. How long have you been planning this? HFY asked. We've been preparing since the first human trader was attacked in this sector, Elena replied. We knew eventually we'd need to take action. Your rescue of Dr. Chen just gave us the right moment. Vash and Crix joined them on the bridge. The young Vraxian looked excited. Captain, you should see the human ships. They have weapons we've never heard of. And the crews, they're all volunteers. Nobody ordered them to come here. They came because they wanted to help, Dr. Chen explained. When Earth sent out the call for Operation Guardian Angel, we had more volunteers than we could use. Humans don't like bullies. Elena received a message from her communications officer. Admiral, we're getting signals from across the sector. News of our fleet is spreading fast. What kind of signals? Requests for help, mostly. It seems a lot of people have been waiting for someone to stand up to the hegemony. Also, 3 more hegemony client states just declared independence. They think we're going to win. HFY looked confused. How can they be so sure? The fighting hasn't even started. Because, Elena said, they've seen what humans do when one of our own is threatened. And they've seen what happens to bullies who think kindness is weakness. The main screen showed Admiral Korath's fleet near the ruins of Haven Station. The hegemony commander was broadcasting threats to the entire sector, promising terrible revenge on anyone who helped the human terrorists. Elena's voice was calm but deadly serious. Commander Hayes, send a message to all hegemony forces. Tell them Earth is offering 1 chance for surrender. Any who give up now will be treated fairly. Any who continue attacking civilians will face the consequences. And if they refuse? HFY asked. Elena looked at the rescued Vraxian captain with eyes that showed years of careful planning and absolute determination. Then they're about to learn why humans survived long enough to reach the stars. We don't start fights, Captain, but we always finish them. On the screen, Korath's response came quickly. He was laughing as he rejected Earth's offer. Humans are weak, he broadcast. I will crush your pathetic fleet and sell your people as slaves. Elena turned to her crew. All ships, this is Admiral Vasquez. Operation Guardian Angel is now active. Remember, we're not here to conquer. We're here to protect. Any species that helps humans or stands against bullies gets our friendship. Any species that preys on others gets our fury. Begin the operation. Across the sector, human ships began moving toward their targets. The war for the future of local space had begun. The war began at dawn across 17 different star systems. Human ships appeared everywhere at once, their timing perfect after years of secret planning. Admiral Korath realized too late that Earth hadn't just brought warships, they had brought an entirely new way of fighting. At Kepler Station, a hegemony supply base, the attack started with something unexpected. Instead of weapons, the human ships broadcast a message to every person on the station. This is the Earth Defense Force. All civilians have 10 minutes to reach evacuation areas marked on your screens. We are here to remove the hegemony, not to hurt innocent people. Captain HFY watched from the bridge of the Defiant as human Marines landed on the station. They're really going to let the civilians escape? That's how humans fight, Dr. Chen explained. We learned long ago that real strength means protecting the weak, not hurting them. The hegemony forces at Kepler Station expected the humans to simply blast the base from space. Instead, human soldiers moved carefully through the station, room by room, making sure no innocent people were trapped. When hegemony pirates tried to use civilians as shields, the humans used stun weapons and precision tactics to save everyone. It's taking them longer to win that way, HFY observed. Admiral Vasquez heard this comment. Yes, it is. But watch what happens next. Within hours, something amazing occurred. The civilian workers at Kepler Station began helping the human soldiers. They showed them where the pirates kept their weapons and pointed out hidden passages. Some even picked up guns to fight beside the humans. Why are they doing that? Vash asked. He and Crix had been watching the battle with amazement. Because humans showed them that strength can be gentle, Dr. Chen said. The hegemony ruled through fear. We're offering something different. Protection and respect. The same pattern repeated across the sector. At every battle, humans made protecting civilians their first priority. Even when it made the fighting harder, even when it put human soldiers at risk, they never abandoned their principles. On the mining world of Zirion, hegemony forces tried to destroy the mines rather than let humans capture them. But the human fleet included construction ships and engineering vessels. While their warships fought the pirates, their engineers worked to save the mines and protect the workers. The local miners, mostly peaceful aliens who had suffered under hegemony rule for years, couldn't believe what they were seeing. For the first time, someone was fighting to free them instead of control them. Admiral, Commander Hayes reported, we're receiving messages from 12 different worlds. Local governments want to join our coalition. Elena smiled. Patch me through to all coalition forces. Her voice went out to every human ship and their growing number of alien allies. This is Admiral Vasquez. Today we're not just fighting a war. We're proving that bullies can be defeated when good people work together. Every world we free, every civilian we save, every act of kindness we show, makes us stronger. Admiral Korath was discovering this truth the hard way. His forces were technically still strong, but they were falling apart from the inside. Many of his alien allies had joined him because they thought the hegemony was unstoppable. Now, seeing human tactics and principles in action, they were switching sides. At the Battle of Crimson Nebula, an entire hegemony fleet defected when the humans offered medical aid to wounded enemy soldiers. Korath watched in rage as his own people chose mercy over money. They're making us look weak, he screamed at his remaining officers. No more mercy. Kill everything. Humans, aliens, civilians. Show them what real strength looks like. But this order backfired completely. When Korath's forces began attacking refugee ships, more of his own people abandoned him. Even pirates had limits, and watching their admiral order the murder of children was too much for many. Captain HFY found themselves in an unexpected position. Admiral Vasquez had asked them to serve as a liaison, with alien forces joining the coalition. The rescued Vraxian captain was becoming a symbol, proof that helping humans led to friendship, not conquest. Captain, a delegation of traders approached HFY on Haven Station, which humans had helped rebuild stronger than before. We want to join the fight. Can you speak to the humans for us? Why me? HFY asked. Because you showed us what courage looks like, said the leader, an elderly alien with kind eyes. You risked everything to save one person. The humans are risking everything to save all of us. The tide of war turned decisively at the Fortress of Shadows, Korath's main base. The hegemony admiral had expected a brutal siege. Instead, the humans did something no one predicted. They surrounded the fortress and then began broadcasting into it. Not threats or demands, but stories. Stories about Dr. Chen's research and how it could help everyone. Stories about worlds freed from hegemony rule where people were building better lives. Stories about former enemies becoming friends. Inside the fortress, hegemony soldiers began to wonder if they were fighting for the wrong side. When humans offered amnesty to anyone who surrendered, and when they showed footage of captured pirates being treated with dignity, the fortress began to empty from within. Korath found himself alone in his command center, betrayed by almost everyone who had once served him. The few loyal soldiers he had left were outnumbered 100 to 1. Admiral Korath. Admiral Vasquez's voice came over the communication system. Your war is over. Surrender now, and you'll be treated fairly. Continue fighting, and you'll face justice for your crimes. Korath's response was to try one last desperate attack. He launched every weapon he had at a nearby civilian colony, hoping to force the humans to choose between saving lives and capturing him. But humans had planned for this too. Their ships intercepted every missile and beam weapon, protecting the colony completely. At the same time, human marines stormed Korath's command center. The final confrontation was almost anticlimactic. Korath, faced with human soldiers who could have killed him easily but chose to capture him alive, finally understood what real strength looked like. I don't understand, he said as they put restraints on him. You could have destroyed everything. Why didn't you? The Marine squad leader, a young woman with steady eyes, gave him a simple answer. Because we're not like you. We protect people. We don't hurt them. Within days, the war was over. Not because the humans had destroyed their enemies, but because they had convinced most of them to become friends instead. Captain HFY stood with Dr. Chen and Admiral Vasquez on the observation deck of the Defiant, looking out at the fleet that had grown from 200 human ships to over 1,000 vessels from dozens of species. I still don't understand how you did it, HFY said. You won a war by being kind. Dr. Chen smiled. We won because we proved that protecting others makes you stronger, not weaker. Every time we chose to save lives instead of taking them, more people joined our cause. Admiral Vasquez nodded. The galaxy is full of people who want to do the right thing, Captain. They were just waiting for someone to show them it was possible. You started that process when you saved Dr. Chen. We just finished it. Looking out at the stars, HFY realized the universe had changed forever. The age of rule by fear was ending. The age of protection through strength had begun, and it all started because one ship's captain decided to help a stranger in need. 6 months after the war ended, Captain HFY stood in the Great Assembly Hall on New Geneva Station. The massive space station floated at the edge of what used to be hegemony territory. Now it served as the headquarters for the new Galactic Council, where dozens of species worked together to build a better future. Today was special. HFY was receiving Earth's highest civilian honor, the Star of Courage, for saving Dr. Chen and starting the chain of events that freed half the galaxy from pirate rule. I still think this is too much ceremony for one rescue, HFY whispered to Dr. Chen, who stood nearby wearing the blue uniform of Earth's new diplomatic corps. It wasn't just one rescue, she whispered back. It was proof that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they choose what's right over what's safe. Admiral Vasquez stepped to the podium. Behind her, representatives from 43 different species filled the assembly hall. Some had been hegemony victims, others had been hegemony allies, and a few had been completely neutral. Now they all worked together. Today, we honor Captain HFY, the Admiral began. Not just for saving the life of Dr. Sarah Chen, but for showing the galaxy that courage comes in many forms. When faced with a choice between safety and compassion, this remarkable individual chose compassion. That choice changed everything. The audience applauded as HFY walked to the podium. The Vraxian captain's skin showed the deep blue of nervousness, mixed with pride. Looking out at the crowd, HFY saw faces from dozens of worlds, all free now because one rescue had sparked a revolution. "I'm not good at speeches," HFY began, getting some friendly laughter. "When I found Dr. Chen's escape pod, I didn't think about changing the galaxy, I just thought about doing what seemed right. My crew argued with me. They said helping a human would bring trouble." More laughter, this time from Crix and Vash, who sat in the front row wearing new uniforms as official ambassadors. "They were right about the trouble part," HFY continued, "but they were wrong about everything else. Helping Dr. Chen didn't just bring trouble, it brought friendship, it brought hope, it brought the knowledge that good people exist everywhere, waiting for a chance to help each other." Dr. Chen stepped forward with the medal. A simple star made from metal taken from both Earth and Vraxis, the captain's homeworld. As she placed it around HFY's neck, she spoke quietly. "This represents more than courage, Captain. It represents the bridge you built between our peoples." After the ceremony, HFY walked through New Geneva Station's busy corridors with Dr. Chen. The station buzzed with activity as beings from different worlds worked together on projects that would have been impossible under hegemony rule. They passed a laboratory where human and alien scientists studied Dr. Chen's crystal research together, developing new technologies for peaceful exploration. They walked by a school where children from a dozen species learned about cooperation and understanding. They saw former pirates working alongside their former victims, building better lives together. "The Chen doctrine is working," Dr. Chen observed as they sat in the station's observation lounge, looking out at the stars. Earth had formalized their protection policy after the war. Any species or individual who showed kindness to human citizens automatically received Earth's friendship and protection. More importantly, the policy had inspired other species to create similar agreements with each other. "It's more than just Earth now," HFY noted. 17 different species have signed mutual protection treaties. The Altarians promise to defend anyone who helps their people. The Centauri do the same. Even my own government has adopted the policy." Dr. Chen smiled. "It turns out that protecting kindness is contagious." Through the lounge's big windows, they could see ships from many worlds coming and going. Trade flowed freely now that piracy had been largely eliminated. Former hegemony worlds were rebuilding with help from their neighbors. Scientific knowledge was shared openly instead of being hoarded by criminals. "What happened to Admiral Korath?" HFY asked. "He's in a rehabilitation center on Earth, Doctor," Chen replied. "Not a prison, a place where they help people who've done terrible things learn to do better things. He's actually been helpful. His knowledge of pirate tactics has helped us stop 3 different criminal groups from forming new hegemonies." This surprised HFY. "You're trying to reform him instead of punishing him? That's the human way. We believe most people can change, if given the chance and the right help. Even Korath is starting to understand that cooperation works better than conquest." A year later, HFY had become something unexpected, the galaxy's first non-human ambassador from Earth. The position had been created specifically for the captain. Recognizing that some kinds of diplomacy required someone who understood both human values and alien perspectives. The captain's first major assignment was mediating a dispute between 2 species that had been enemies for generations. Using lessons learned from watching humans turn enemies into friends, HFY helped them find common ground. "The secret," HFY explained to the negotiating teams, "is realizing that being strong doesn't mean hurting others. It means protecting them. When you protect someone else's children, they'll protect yours." Dr. Chen had returned to her research, but now she led a multi-species team studying not just energy crystals, but the science of cooperation itself. How did different species learn to work together? What made some groups become friends while others became enemies? Her findings were revolutionary. Species that valued protecting others over dominating them consistently became more successful, more innovative, and more peaceful. The data proved what humans had learned through hard experience. Kindness wasn't weakness. It was the foundation of real strength. 5 years after the rescue that started it all, HFY visited Earth for the first time. Walking through the parks of Geneva City, the captain marveled at how different this world felt from the rough frontier where they had first met Dr. Chen. Earth was green and blue and peaceful, but not weak. Everyone knew this was the world that had challenged an entire criminal empire to protect one rescued scientist. Children learned about courage in school, but also about compassion. Military officers trained to fight, but also to build. Do you ever regret it? Dr. Chen asked, as they sat by a lake in the afternoon sun. If you hadn't saved me, you'd still be a simple trader. Now you're responsible for diplomatic relations between dozens of species. HFY's skin showed the warm gold of contentment. I regret nothing. That day, in the asteroid field, I had to choose between what was safe and what was right. I chose right, and it led to everything good that's happened since. Dr. Chen nodded. My research team has a theory about that. We think the universe tends toward cooperation over time, but it needs catalysts. People who make the right choice at the right moment, even when it's hard. Catalysts, like rescuing strangers. Catalysts like showing that kindness matters more than fear. As the sun set over Earth's peaceful landscape, HFY thought about the changes that had swept across the galaxy. The hegemony was gone, replaced by dozens of free worlds working together. Trade and science flourished. Children grew up learning that different species could be friends instead of enemies. None of it would have happened if one alien trader hadn't decided to help a human in trouble. That night, HFY sent a message to Crix and Vash, who now ran their own trading company based on fair trade principles, ensuring that business relationships helped everyone involved. Remember that day when you said helping a human would bring trouble? HFY wrote. You were right. It brought the best kind of trouble possible. The kind that makes everything better. Looking up at the stars from Earth's surface, HFY could see ships traveling between worlds that were once enemies, carrying goods and knowledge and friendship. In the distance, the lights of New Geneva Station twinkled like a beacon of hope. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. When you rescue someone, you don't just save one life. You plant a seed that can grow into something beautiful. You prove that in a universe full of dangers, there are still people willing to choose courage over safety, kindness over fear, and cooperation over conquest. And sometimes, that's all it takes to change everything. In the end, the galaxy discovered that humans don't just fight for themselves. They fight for the idea that kindness should never be punished, and courage should always be rewarded. When you rescue a human, Earth doesn't just remember. Earth makes sure the universe becomes the kind of place where rescue is always rewarded and kindness always wins.